Morning children. So welcome back to the online session of the mathematics class. So we know that we are discussing about the lesson lines and angles, right? So in the previous session we have discussed about some extended angles. So those extended angles are complementary angles, supplementary angles, linear pair of angles, adjacent angles, vertically opposite angles, right? So these are the 5 angles which are extended angles, right? So which we have been studied in our earlier classes. So in our earlier classes we have studied about the different types of angles: right angle, acute angle, obtuse angle, straight angle, complete angle, reflex angle. Those angles we have studied in our up to class 7 till now. So here we are going to study about the extended angles. Those extended angles are these: supplementary, complementary, adjacent angles, linear pair of angles, vertically opposite angles. So these are the angles, right? So these are the angles which will be very useful for our earlier classes. So from here we are going to use these angles in our next upcoming classes. Okay. So therefore these angles are very important. Okay. So based on these angles we have some exercise, that is exercise 6.1, right? So yeah, it is exercise 5.1. In the exercise 5.1, up to second question I have completed. Third question, some questions I have done that, and some of them I have given a homework to you. So some of them have done that. Still so many students have to do that. Please take the homework as a serious note and do it as soon as possible and send it to me, okay, on day-to-day basis. Okay. Now I'll go for the fourth question. Okay. Exercise 4 of 5.1, fourth question. Find the angle. Find the angle which is equal to which is equal to its complement. So what do you mean by complementary angles? We know that when the measure of two angles, when the sum of measures of two angles is equal to 90 degree, then those two angles are called as complementary angles. For example, 20 degree plus 70 degree is equal to 90 degree. So 20 degree plus 70 degree, 20 and 70 are the complementary angles to each other, right? 20 plus 70 is equal to 90. You can observe that 20 plus 70 is equal to 90. Therefore 20 and 70 are the complementary angles. 20 is complement to 70, 70 is complement to 20. Correct? But the question is, find the angle which is equal to its complement. But 20 is not equal to 70. 20 is not equal to 20. 20 is not equal to 70, but equal to 20 only, right? So we should find out the angle which is equal to, which is the complement of itself. What is that? 45 degree plus 45 degree. What is that? 90 degree. You can observe that I am getting 90 degree. So therefore, these two angles are complementary angles. So 45 degree is a complement of 45 degree. 45 degree is a complement of 45 degree. Therefore, 45 degree is a complement of itself. So 45 degree is the angle which is equal to its complement. Which is equal to its complement. Okay. So you can write the answer directly 45 degree. Okay. Answer is 45 degree. Okay. Because 45 degree plus 45 degree is equal to 90 degree. Clear? 45 degree plus 45 degree is equal to 90 degree. Therefore, it is complement to itself. Okay. Now, the second question is fifth question is find the angle. Find the angle which is equal to its supplement. There it is complement, here it is supplement. There it is 90 degree, here it is 180 degree. That's it. Hope you will do this. Okay. So it is very easy. You can find out which angle is the complement of itself. I'm sorry, which angle is the supplement of itself. This is 45 degree is the complement of itself. So in the concept of supplementary, you should find out which angle is the supplement of itself. Very easy. Hope you will do this. I will give it to you as a homework. Okay. So I will go for the question, sixth question. Okay. Next question is, in the figure, angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary angles. Okay, so this is the figure we have given. This is 1, this is 2, angle 1 and angle 2. This is angle 1 and this is angle 2. Okay, so in the figure, angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary angles. Angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary angles. If angle 1 is decreases, what changes should take in angle 2? If angle 1 is decreases, what changes should take in angle 2 so that both the angles still remain supplementary? The question is very simple. Angle 1 and angle 2 form a supplementary angles. That means angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to how much? 180 degree. That is first question they have given, first point they have given. Because angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary angles. That means the sum of those two angles must be equal to 180 degree. The next question is, if angle 1 is decreases, what changes should take to angle 2? If angle 1 decreases, what will happen to the angle 2? Look at this. This is angle 1 initially. Okay, this much. Okay, let us assume that 150 degree. So you are going to decrease this. Now it is 80 degree. Initially angle 2 is 60 degree. Now what happened to the angle 2? Angle 2 is increased. So if angle 1 is decreased, angle 2 will be increased. Angle 2 will be increased. So that is the answer for this. If angle 1 decreases, what changes should take in angle 2 so that both the angles still remain supplementary? If this is decreases, then this will need to increase. Then only that is equal to 180 degree. Then if you are decreasing and you are saying that your angle is keep on same angle, then that is equal to 180 degree. No. Then if this is decreasing, then you should increase this. Say suppose I take a particular angle. This is 20 degree and this is let us assume that this is okay. This is 50 degree and let us assume that this is 130 degree. Sum of this is equal to 180 degree, right? So these two angles are supplementary. Now let us assume that this is decreased 40 degree. Decreased, right? Then if I keep same value 130 degree, then this is equal to 180 degree. No, 130 plus 40 equal to 170. That means in order to bring 180, I should increase this 130 to 140. Then it is become 180. Then these two angles will become supplementary angles. So if you want to decrease angle 1, you need to increase angle 2. That's it. That is the answer for this. Okay. If angle 1 is decreases, then we need to increase angle 2. Okay, so that angles still remain supplementary. Okay. This is the answer. So if you want to decrease it, angle you need to increase. Okay. So that is the answer. We'll go for next one. Question number 7. Okay. Can two angles be supplementary? Can two angles be supplementary if both of them are first one acute, second one obtuse, third one right. these are not options. Let us look at these three are the sub questions. Can two angles be supplementary if both of them are acute angle? What do you mean by supplementary? Sum of those two angles must be 180 degree. Both the angles are acute angle, then that must be equal to 180 degree. Say suppose that what is acute angle? Less than 90 degree. Less than 90 degree. Say the first angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 180 degree. Correct? If angle 1 is also acute and angle 2 is also acute, then that must be less than 90 degree. Say suppose I will take 89 only. Maximum I will take 89. 89 is equal to 180 will come here. 180. How much will come? 160. Right? 80 plus 80, 160. Then 178 we are getting. We are not getting 180. We are getting only 170. Correct? 178. That means if both angles are acute angles, then it is not possible that those two angles are supplementary. This is not possible. Okay. Now obtuse. What is obtuse? It will start from 180 to the what? No, it will start from 90 to 180. If both angles are obtuse, so let me take one angle is 100, the other angle is less than 10, other angle is 150. What is that answer? We are getting 250. Can you say that 250 is 250 is not equal to 180? Therefore, can you say that 100 and 150 are supplementary? No. If both are obtuse, then also it is not supplementary. Okay, so this is not possible. So when it comes to the third one, right angle. What is right angle? Exactly 90 degree. So 90 degree plus 90 degree. What is that? 190 degree. So if both angles are right angle, then those two angles are supplementary. If both angles, here it is both angles, not one angle. Acute in this is both angles are acute. Combination of these two will become a supplementary. One is acute angle, one is obtuse angle. Definitely it is supplementary. Okay. It doesn't mean that combination of these two is not supplementary. No. If both are acute, then it is not possible to get a supplementary. If both are obtuse, then also it is not possible to get a supplementary. If both are right angle, then definitely you are getting a supplementary. Okay. So you can write that. Can two angles be supplementary if both of them are acute? First one, if both are acute, two angles are not supplementary. Okay. Second one, you can take example also. Okay. So you can take both angles are acute, that is 85 plus 89. So you can take, that is 85 plus 89 will become 160, 169, 174. Correct? Which is not equal to 180. Right? Second one, if both are obtuse, two angles are not supplementary. Okay. Example, I'm taking this is 91 plus again 91, 92. So 180, which is not equal to 180. Therefore, this is also a not possible case. The third one, right. Both are right angles. Both are right angles. Then two angles are supplementary. Okay. Example, 90 degree plus 90 degree is equal to 180. Okay. So therefore 90 plus will become supplementary angles. Okay. So this is the answer. So 8th question. So the next question is, an angle is greater than 45 degree. An angle is greater than 45 degree. Is its complementary angle is also greater than 45 degree or equal to 45 degree or less than 45 degree? That is the question. So complementary in the sense, sum of those two angles must be equal to 90 degree. It should not exceed 90 degree. It should not be less than 90 degree. It should be exactly 90 degree. Then only I will call it as those two angles are complementary angles. And one angle is complement to other angle is complement to the first one. Okay. Now the question is, one angle is greater than 45 degree. One angle is greater than 45 degree. Say suppose greater than 45 degrees, I'll take it as 50 degree. 50 degree is greater than 45 degree, right? Okay. So the sum is 90 degree. Sum is 90 degree because complementary angles. Is its complement angle is greater than 45 degree or equal to 45 degree or less than 45 degree? So I need to add with this in order to get complement angle, complement of this. What value I need to place in order to get 90 degree? I need to place 40 degree only, right? That is 50 plus 40 will become 90. That means you need to, its complement must be less than 45 degree in order to be complementary. So its complement must be less than 45 degree. If this is greater, this must be lesser. If this is increasing and this must be decreasing, like we have learned in the previous question, right? If one angle is increasing, the other angle must be decreases in terms of supplementary. Here it is in terms of complementary. If one is increasing, then other must be decreasing. Then only those two will be balanced. Then that must be equal to 90 degree. So here you can observe that the angle is greater than 45 degree. The first angle is greater than 45 degree. So if its complement is greater than 45 degree, no. If that is also greater than 45 degree, then 50 plus 50 will become 100, which is not equal to 90. So equal to 45 degree, no. 50 plus 45, 95. Again this exceeds. So it must be less than 45 degree. It must be less than 45 degree. Assume that 40. So less than 45 degree. So then only I am getting 90 degree. Correct? So if one is increasing, then other I should decrease it. Its complement must be less than 45 degree. Okay, that is the answer. Its complement must be less than 45 degree. This is the answer for that. Okay. So we'll go for the next question now. The next question is, in the adjoining figure, is angle 1 adjacent to angle 2? Angle 1 adjacent to angle 2, whether it is true or false, right? You should say that. Is AOC adjacent to angle AOE adjacent to? Okay. Is angle AOC adjacent to AOE? You should say that. Do angles COE and EOD form a linear plane? COE and EOD form a linear plane? Or angle BOD and DOA supplementary? DOA are supplementary. Is angle 1 vertically opposite to angle 5? This is angle 1, this is angle 5. We should say that whether those two angles are vertically opposite angles or not. All these things you know, adjacent angles you should know, and then linear plane you know that, supplementary you know that, vertically opposite angles you know that. For that, all the conditions you should know them. Okay. So you learned that. So this is the homework for you. I will give it to you. You should say that whether this is, if it is yes, then write yes, angle 1 adjacent to angle 2. Look at the angle 1. This is angle 1. AOC is the angle 1. COE is the angle 2. Look at this. These two angles are adjacent or not. If it is adjacent, which is the common point, this is common point. This is the common mark. One is 1 and 2 are adjacent. Suppose those two 1 and 2 are adjacent. So first question is clear. Okay. So answer first one, yes. angle 1 is adjacent to angle 2. Okay, that is true because that is having a common arm OC. O is the common point. OA and OA are the non-common arms that will be on the either side of the common. Okay. So remaining question will be the homework for you. You should say that whether it is yes